Hello YouTube, it's Atticus. Good morning. I hope everybody's doing well. I am back with you, and today we have a matchup that I really want to talk about for a few reasons. We are fighting against the Greenskins as the High Elves, and out of all the matchups that I usually fight when playing the High Elves that I struggle against, it's Greenskins, and it's mainly because of things like the Goblin build and for being outnumbered. So I really thought about it, and I was like, if I was what build could actually keep up with the numbers of the Greenskins and actually exploit the fact that they have a lot of numbers and actually be able to kind of turn their strategy on against them. And I came up with this build, guys, and what it is. And if you look at it here, it's a build that almost matches the Goblin or Greenskin, pound to pound. We almost had the exact same numbers as them, and we're also going to really heavily focus on some range things, which we'll get into. So yeah, I want to show you guys this build. I want to show you, and it's against a really high-skilled opponent. His name's Proculus. I fought him before. He's a really high-level player on the ladder. And yeah, I want to show you guys this high elf build here, and and kind of the thought behind it. So let's go ahead and just jump into it. For my lord, guys, I took Tyrion. I figured Tyrion would be probably one of the best options for this matchup. Even I usually used the princess, but because of his healing and because of he's a lord that you don't have to really spend micro on, so you could kind of be focused on other things. Like you just leave him in sustained combat, and yeah, he'll do his job. For my front line, guys, I have the Scions, or excuse me, not the Scions, but the Spearmen, and you can see, guys, I put them all up to silver chevrons. So I'm really wanting these guys to hold the Greenskins in place. Now, they won't beat, Black Orcs, obviously, but they will be able to beat these little goblins. They will be able to take the archers of the Savage Orcs, and they will be able to protect themselves from all the cavalry that the Greenskins bring. Also have a secondary line of White Lions, one being the Pure Main. And you always want to bring the Pure Main, guys, if you're going to have a ground-based lord, just for that Guardian trait, that ward save. In the back, guys, we have one unit of Shadow Warriors, and yeah, these guys are going to be they're going to be the captains of the team. They're going to be going in to fill holes. They're going to be looking for high value targets, lord sniping, being able to screen out the inevitable greenskin cavalry pressure, and yeah, just pretty much just being a band-aid to go fill in the gaps wherever needed. But then, you guys, you can see I also have a bunch of Lothran Sea Guards with shields. I have 3 of them, and their job, guys, is to deal with the cav, the Spider Riders, the Wolf Riders, and things like that, and also to focus down the Black Orcs. Now, Black Orcs one-on-one against White Lions will win, but with the support of all this range, I might have a chance. And you can also see, guys, I have 2 units of Illyrian Reavers archers here on each side. So yeah, I mean, it is a pretty big high elf army. Usually you don't see numbers like this, and the reason I did this is because I don't have any dragon princes, I don't have any silver helms, I don't have any monsters, just infantry. And I've tried all the monster builds. I've tried having elite cav, and I'm telling you guys, like I think in this matchup, bigger numbers is the way to go. Let's go look at my opponent's build. You can see he has a front line of Goblin, and these things, man, for how cheap they are, it's almost not fair. You're getting a silver shield, so they'll waste all your ammunition. And I mean, look at that, guys. 2026 for, what is it, a couple hundred gold you get? It's not bad. I mean, yeah, these guys are, they're a lot more effective than zombies, is what I'm trying to say, or, peasants. Then my opponent has a bunch of Black Orcs here, guys. He has 3 units of Black Orcs mixed in with some Savage Orcs. One of them being the Rusty Airs. I know they're here somewhere. Where are the Rusty Airs? There they are, Rusty Airs, and these guys, of course, have the armor, I think, Sundering. The armor Sundering, that's what it is. And then he also has the Broken Tusk, Orc Bigums, and then you can see he has a couple units of these Forest Rider, Spider, Goblins, but I can't talk. So yeah, pretty big Greenskin army. Let's go ahead and just look into or start the match, guys. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so right off the bat here, guys, I'm just going to start repositioning my men. I see that he's coming over from this right side, so yeah, we're just going to be really patient here. We're going to let him come to me. I'm not going to, rush any engagements. I'm going to try to get one of my archer units out here, and you can see that, yeah, I'm going to try to do a little early damage in on some of his cavalry. So let's go ahead and just fast forward it till we get into the actual engagement here. Now, this is really, I have to be really careful about this engagement, guys, because his units will poison. If they poison, they'll slow him down. So, alright, so the first volley is going to go off. I'm going to get one hit onto these guys. But yeah, we have more range, so as long as we can keep pulling back and then shooting, pulling back and then shooting, we might have a chance. And you can see, guys, yeah, he's not wanting to chase me into the woods, which is allowing me every time he turns around just to get there and shoot him right into the face. Now, it's not doing a lot of damage, but hey, I mean, it is going to, over the course of the game, start to wear him down. You can see I'm going to pull back into the woods there, and we're just going to pretty much just be having this dance the whole time. You can see his front lines of goblins are positioning, and yeah, what these guys are, if they're silver shields, what he's going to be wanting to do is waste ammunition of my Lothern Sea Guards and my Shadow Warriors. So I'm just going to have to be really mindful of that, and I really can't just allow them just to sit there and take my archer plays. Over here, you can see this really big glob of orc cav, greenskin cav is starting to try, come into the woods here. But yeah, they're not going to catch these Illyrian Reavers unless he gets poisoned. So yeah, it's just something I have to keep in mind. And these guys don't do range, I believe. They're just the melee focused ones. Meant to get into your back line, to shut down your archers and things like that. So yeah, guys, the rest of the army is starting to move up into position here, and you can see we've actually done a little bit of damage to this forest goblin spider rider. I don't know why I can't say that. Over here, I have my other Illyrian Reaver starting to come into position, starting to do a little early damage. He doesn't have any cav over protecting the side, so I figured if I could start getting some early volleys off onto these savage orcs, I'll be at an advantage. I am going to get my first volley, but I'm immediately going to pull away just as he retaliates. I don't want, these guys taking any damage. I am going to need them to be able to deal with all this cav that he does have. So, yeah, just as I said, guys, the goblins are going to start moving up here. And, yeah, I mean, look at that. I mean, 3 different volleys starting to hit them. They're not going to take any damage. And that's just so annoying to deal with, they have to deal with something that has silver shields for that cheap. So I'm just going to engage. I'm just going to commit to the engagement while there is a little bit of distance right here. He's not going to protect these goblins, so I figured, why don't I start killing him now before he could rush the rest of his army in to protect him. And yeah, guys, surprisingly enough, look how good these goblins are doing against a silver chevron spear unit of the high elves, the most elite infantry in the whole old world setting. Over here you see that Tyrion is marching ahead like a true boss, but I am going to eventually have to pull him out just because I don't want him to get overextended and get killed. I forgot to mention my opponent is playing Skarsnik, which is anti-large. It's not something you see a lot, so yeah. Tyrion, seeing that he would almost be killed by this, is going to pull away. Over here, though, you can see I have a unit of Lothern Sea Guards and a Spearmen who are trying to screen for these guys in the forest. I've been, luring them with these Illyrian Reavers, keeping them from shooting. You can see all his archers are starting to open up, and they're trying to shoot Tyrion, who has a lot of healing, so it's not going to be probably the best usage of that ranged power as he has. But yeah, guys, look at all this range that I have to shoot. I have the Shadow Warriors providing Overwatch, all these Lothern Sea Guards, and yeah, we're doing a lot of damage. Over here you see the Spear unit is trying to get into position. They are trying to catch these orc boars, biggins, but I can't talk today. Trying to catch them before they have a chance to get into my back line. But being that I have everything has anti-large with this Lothern Sea Guards, yeah, we're doing pretty good, even if he does want to commit. Over here you see Tyrion is going to do feint and repose and stand your ground. And yeah, I mean, we are kind of losing against all these black orcs. My infantry is not going to be able to hold up against them. But yeah, we are shattering a lot of his range units, guys, which will allow me to play, towards the end game to be able to win. Balance of power is dead in the middle, guys. And you can see the white lions are fighting these black orcs. But yeah, I mean, they are losing. Over on this side, my opponent is forced to have to try to shut down all this range. And you can see that the Lothern Sea Guard are going to be braced for this charge. And yeah, I mean, they're going to stand there very nobly and take the charge of all these, nasty orcs, and they're going to be able to hold them in place, guys. And being that they're anti-large, they're going to be able to, really damage those guys. You can see that we're starting to break all these goblins. Now, the unfortunate thing about that is these guys are going to come back and force me to have to respawn. But you can see the range overwatch of all my units, guys, is doing a lot of damage. Even though we are losing our armor-piercing units, you can see all my white lions have finally, broken, except for the Pure Main. The Pure Main are still fighting strong, and they're like the only hope I have to deal with all these black orcs. Over here, you can see some spearmen are fighting these black orcs, but I have a lot of ranged overwatch coming, hitting these guys in the back, and that's definitely something that's playing in my favor. Over here you can see these orc boar bigums are starting to chase my Shadow Warriors, who do have fire while moving, so at least they'll be able to do a few shots of volleys into their face. But yeah, they decided to shoot at the goblins, which was really stupid, but he is going to collapse on those guys. But still, guys, I mean, they're not that important of a unit. I mean, the Lothern Sea Guards, based off what my opponent brought, is a lot more valuable since they have the anti-large. Opponent is going to find an opening to move in with the black orcs, but I'm instantly going to pull back my Lothern Sea Guard. I did not want those guys to get into melee, and I'm going to use one of my units of spearmen to come valiantly rushing in to try to hold these black orcs in place. Over here you can see we finally have broken this unit of black orcs because of Tyrion, and yeah, and now Skarsnik is really kind of overexposed here. Tyrion is a beast in melee. I mean, he'll be able to one-on-one any lord pretty much in the game. Over on this side, guys, you can see a spear unit is chasing off these savage orc archers. And yeah, we've pretty much just gotten all into his back line, guys. You can see that my the unit of Lyrian Reavers that I had over on that right side, I put him in the melee, and we're just shutting down all his archers. Since all his cav is in the back line of mine, I figure, well, he has no one to protect his. So it's allowing me to, shoot him pretty much unimpeded. Over here, you can see Tyrion and the Pyrmane Company are still fighting strong, even though my opponent did cast Wog, I think it's called. And yeah, we're just being able to, collapse our forces onto his last little, strong pocket of troops here. Now, balance of power, guys, is still dead even. Now, because that's the thing about Greenskins. Even if they do break, I mean, they're still able to, come back pretty quickly. And you can see my opponent is going to cast Spite of the Bad Moon, which gives a huge missile parry and charge defense. So my opponent is trying to deal with all these Lothran Sea Guards. He's trying to keep his Black Orcs alive, since he does know he does need those to win. You can see that these Broken Tusk Mob are going to do another head-on charge into the Lothran Sea Guard, who are braced for it. But yeah, guys, I mean, over on this side, you can see the Shadow Warriors are just being such a nuisance for his elite cavalry. And you can see they're just shooting these orcs right into the face. And it's just, it's forcing him to have to waste micro and time dealing with them. And you can see no matter where he goes, the Lothran Sea Guards guys are just protected. He doesn't have a reliable way of dealing with those guys, which is, just really working out in my favor. Now that I've used all the ammunition of these Illyrian Reavers, and this pocket right here is really important, I'm going to get a nice rear charge into the back of these Black Orcs. And it's going to send a few of them flying. Over here you see Tyrion and Skarsnik are almost dead even when it comes to their life. But Tyrion had the Heart of Avalorn, guys, so his life did, proc whenever he was about ready to die. Over here you can see Gobbler is fighting strong, but yeah, guys, balance of power finally is starting to creep into my favor. Over here you can see these Illyrian Reavers have been chasing away his rusty arrows, and this one unit of spears is coming to isolate. We're isolating all his archers, and this is generally what Greenskins will do to you, what I've been doing to him. Have all these range units providing overwatch against your more elite troops. So yeah, I mean, you can see putting the, turning the tables against the Greenskins is working pretty admirably. All the spears here, the Pyrmane Company, they have one more pocket of Black Orcs that are both getting ready to rout, which is just going to leave the Goblin Big Boss, who I did forget to mention, and Skarsnik, who I do believe is, he did break. You can see Tyrion is trying to chase him off. I don't want him coming back, so I'm just going to send my lord here to try to finish him off. Skarsnik is going to go run away with those Black Orcs, but yeah, guys, the balance of power now is really drifting in my favor, and I think my opponent's going to be hit with army losses. It's going to be another win for the High Elves. So the theme, what to take from this, guys, is we took the Greenskin strategy against usually what they use against High Elves, and turn it around and put it against them. Having that range units that just hit him no matter where he was at. And I think this is the new way that I'm going to start playing against Greenskin. So, some of the keys for success of my build, guys, was the range units. I mean, the Illyrian Reavers definitely being able to lure away his cav, and the Lothran Sea Guard. And also the Shadow Warriors, guys. You can see a lot of the times it was forcing a lot of his troops to go chase him. Even though they don't do that much damage, psychologically, being an elite troop, he went to respond to it. I mean, the Goblins were a really good pick. You can see, guys, I mean, look how many kills these little buggers got, especially with the Wog, you know what I mean? So, alright, guys, it's Atticus. I hope you enjoyed that. Good game to Proculus. I hope that gives you an idea of how to deal with Greenskins in this matchup, and I'll see you next time. Alright, guys, bye.